Bonjour mes amis, c'est moi Jay. I want to make some comments on Montreal versus Vancouver. Montreal is a beautiful city, but pales in comparison to Vancouver. I'm biased, yes, I know, because I grew up in Vancouver and predominantly still live there, but you clearly can't compare the two cities. But Montreal is a nice city, especially Old Town Montreal. It's fun. Funny thing is, years ago when I was learning French, and I went to Montreal for the first time as an adult, and I went there with the intention of practicing my French. Everyone quickly realized that my French sucks and started talking to me in English. So it didn't help my plan go too well to improve my French. However, since then, I've been studying for 5 years and finally become fluent in French. So for that reason and others, it's fun to go to Montreal. Other thing is, weather is very different. Montreal has, I would say, literally like a 1 month summer. You got to wear a wool coat in Montreal like 10 months out of the year. It's cold, and like I said, summertime is great, but that summertime is 1 month. It's a lot of fun though. Different parts of Montreal, Old Town, and different neighborhoods, great subway system, public transportation. People are real cool. You have the French influence and Quebecois influence and so on. I actually love it. For me, I've actually found that I prefer Quebec City, particularly because I can practice my French there. Rather, I'm forced to practice my French there because Quebec City, as is the case with a lot of places in Quebec outside of Montreal, where you'll find people that actually don't speak English. Montreal is bilingual. I believe they actually have it's a law where if you work in Montreal, you have to speak both French and English. But again, you can go to Quebec City. It's also a very beautiful, smaller town. You can practice your French, as I've been doing for years now. But Vancouver is much more scenic and much more beautiful, but no French influence, being that far removed. Canada is a huge country, so being that far removed from Quebec and all the way over there on the west coast, historically, French influence over there on the west side has been minimal, absolutely minimal. But since I enjoy speaking French and can speak it, Montreal and other places in Quebec are good options for me to go on trips. So that's just a little comment that I have based on my experiences between the two cities. Of course, I've traveled elsewhere in Canada, Alberta, Calgary, Toronto. I haven't yet made it too far east yet, like Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, but that's coming up a little bit later this year. It's definitely on the travel list. But Montreal is a nice city. Cold, short winter, not nearly as scenic and beautiful, and quite the offering of Vancouver. But again, the attraction for me is to go there or elsewhere in Quebec, just to, when the weather is good in summer months, just to practice my French. It's a lot cheaper than flying to France, right? So, those are my comments about Montreal versus Vancouver.